Hello and welcome to first round coverage from the big one, the 2018 PDGA Professional World Championships from Smugglers Notch, Vermont. BigSexy commentary here with you, Nate Sexton and Jeremy Koling.
And as always, we have a fantastic feature card. We have Simon Lizotte, Cale Leiviska, Ricky Wysocki, and the 2018 Distance World Champion Kevin Jones. What an exciting card. Really one of the only there's a few international contenders for the world title. Obviously Simon's one of them.
Oh yeah.
Two-time defending champion, Ricky Wysocki. Best player in Minnesota history, let's go ahead and say it, Cale Leiviska.
Nobody's arguing.
And the young gun, Kevin Jones, who obviously can throw a mile, just beat David Wiggins, dethroned the 5 or 6 time Distance World Champion, so it's going to be an awesome round.
Hole 1 is a par 4 coming in at 575 feet. You've got a little bit of an OB carry to begin the hole, but then the entire fairway surrounded by OB.
From Fort Mill, South Carolina, Ricky Wysocki.
And Ricky has the whole ensemble, the whole fam's up here from Rock Hill, or Fort Mill, South Carolina, which is pretty much 20 minutes from Rock Hill. And you got to picture Ricky as a favorite coming into the World Championships. I mean, obviously he's been one of the top 2 best players for a number of years now, but it's also, of course, he's done really well in the past.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think I saw a little flash said H3 on the top of this disc, so he's going with kind of that hybrid fairway distance type speed. I think probably most players going with something in that speed 10 type of range here.
You're just really trying to land right by that white birch beach, whatever the heck that is.
You want to land up on Birch Beach.
That's a perfect landing zone. There's not much in the way from there.
Arkansas, Kevin Jones.
And this is a really good fairway for Kevin Jones' style of throw. He really likes to throw line drive, low shots with minimal fade, and something he's really good at. So this is a good fairway for his eye. Yep, there it is.
Oh yeah, that's some good commentary by you, Jerm. You knew what was coming. And that's a fantastic drive.
Yeah, that's past that Birch Beach by about 50, 60 feet.
Yeah, there's no sand on that thing.
Raymond, Germany, Simon Lizotte.
Like we said, there's a few international contenders. By name, I think KJ Naibo, Seppo Payu, Simon Lizotte.
Simon's certainly at the front of that group. This is a bit of a early release, or late release actually. He's a little low, and he's not happy with that, although it is inbounds, and really the basket's reachable from anywhere. He's got the German flag out. Nice smooth forehand.
Yeah, it's spinning with pride, but that's looking like it could be
that might
long.
Be OB.
The spotter's heading up there. Looks like it's hard to tell.
Looks OB, but I'm not sure.
I'm not going to call it yet. And Cale does not throw a sidearm Leiviska with a backhand turnover. I believe that's an M4. Oh, no, it's a P3, actually. He's going with a putter approach.
Ricky also going to go putter.
Oh, you know what? I have a little bit of insider information. That is an M4 that is stamped with a P3. Cale's trying to be tricky, and he's not going to fool me. Or you, the audience.
And Kevin almost has a chance to kind of look at a long eagle throw there. Nothing in his way. Great drive.
We'll have to see what Simon's putting for when he makes the putt here. And is that for... Yeah, it is for par. That shot was out of bounds.
Yep.
But a great par save.
That is such a Simon move. Whenever he makes a mistake, he's so likely to just can that 40, 50, 60 footer.
Right, wherever
to just
it is.
make it, to just nullify the mistake that he just made.
And Cale, that is a common make for Cale. He has a very interesting style, definitely a putting style that's unique to his own. And he makes a lot of putts low left side that a lot of people might think are, maybe a misrelease for other players. It's just Cale's putt.
Ricky in for birdie as well.
And
It feels good to get that first one.
oh, absolutely it does.
Start your World Championships. And Kevin's making it easy. 3 birdies, 1 par.
And you can't birdie them all if you don't birdie the first. That's for sure.
You make a great point.
I think if you birdie 72, 100 straight birdies or 90 straight birdies,
yeah,
you're gonna win the world title.
And you're gonna need the first one.
Yep.
Hole 2, par 3, 270 feet up the middle. Very beautiful little woods hole here. I really like the fairness, the width of the gap. The ratio of the width of the gap to the length of the hole, I think, is ideal here. Where you're throwing at an appropriate power that it's still kind of nerve-wracking. There is OB down there right, but that big rock in the middle and all the nice trees. I think this is a fantastic looking hole.
I think we've had a warmer summer in Vermont this year than other years because in the previous years here at the Green Mountain Championships, these leaves have been changing color a lot more than they are now. It's a lot greener this time of year than it has been in previous years.
Fantastic shot from Rick. He'll have just a tap in left.
And it's always made this hole like one of the most beautiful holes on the entire course. And matched equally there by Cale Leiviska's perfect shot down the middle.
Yeah, they're making this look much easier than it actually is. Okay. There's a little early release. That's probably the most common miss here. You try to throw something flippy, you're a little scared of the OB down right.
Yeah, OB comes in play left and right. I mean, in straight. Simon.
Oh, and not a great kick there. We'll see how tricky that spot's going to be.
2 poor tee shots off the bat here for Simon.
Very tricky, I think, is the answer. Look at what he's got to do. Anheuser forehand.
Oh, wow.
Really well done.
Technical forehands. I mean, Simon's got that 300 to 350, maybe even more for forehand, but we don't see the technical forehand very often, and that really shows the well-rounded skill of Mr. Lizotte.
Good upshot there from Kevin. Simon, another tester for par.
Count it.
No problem.
These early birdies are ones you have to get. This course only gets more difficult all the way through, and when you have a shot that's under 300 feet straight away, you really feel the pressure of picking up these birdies early.
Another birdie for Cale. Perfect start. Ricky looking to do the same.
On their way to 90 straight.
Yeah, well on their way. And Kevin in for par.
You have to get an eagle somewhere to get back on track.
Hole 3, par 3, 285 feet, slightly uphill, slightly left. There's OB along the entire right side. Plenty of trees to contend with. Really 2 major options. Giant hyzer over the OB or right up the middle with the backhand mid-range or perhaps fairway driver.
Remember secret option number C?
Forehand? Forehand roller.
Trip to Grandma's house up in the sky.
Thumber,
yes, sir, going over the top.
Very few players have that option. I think Ricky's looking at the mid-range, right up the middle, maybe not.
Oh, and early trees typically kick right OB, so that's a wow.
That's kind of a good roll because he centered himself up with the gap. At least he has nothing in his way now. I don't think the 30 feet backwards is going to bother him at all.
Well, we'll have to see.
And this is too low. Cale's not getting anywhere with that one.
I'm going to call Kevin's going to throw a quality shot here. This is his style of throw. Right up the middle.
How many times are you going to get this right?
Well, it's just his shot.
All you have to do is say, this is Kev's hole.
It is. I mean, look at this. And he's just popped it.
Beautiful.
It's fantastic, but that is totally his style. He has this really nice, slight nose-up release that navigates these type of low-ceiling fairways perfectly, and Simon has decided to go for the conservative, giant spike hyzer.
Super German shot. It's short, though. It's safe, but it's short. He's outside circle 2. And Ricky, forehand, Anheuser putter. That's in the circle.
Yep. Anything shorter than that, it would be a much scarier result just because there is a very steep downhill slope behind this basket, and there is actually out of bounds at the bottom of the hill.
You can absolutely find the OB off the tee. If you're a little hot and you don't hit any of that hillside as you crest it, you're going to go OB off the tee, and there's not a lot of good putting lanes from down there.
No, there's a lot of trees on this green, and Cale is going to have that scary death putt that we were talking about. The jump putt did not quite get the nose-up release that he needed, and this is a scary putt. That was a common miss from that distance with this green.
You can tell how scary the green is as you see Simon lay up from 65 feet. Not something he does a whole lot. Ricky saves it. That is a very nice save considering the early tree hit.
Kevin's just
So easy.
so easy. Wasn't within 5 or 6 feet of a tree the whole way up the fairway, which is hard to do. I mean, this fairway really gets tight towards the end, and that was just a fantastic shot.
Hole 4 is a par 4, 620 feet with an OB kind of island in the middle. All this rough area is OB, and the left side rough also. There is kind of a landing zone on the right from where our drone is flying. That is where I expect all 4 of our players to throw their drives, set themselves up for a kind of a left to right moving shot to this beautiful raised green.
And this hole has actually been pushed back from the year prior, where we had a par 3 that was kind of a long 470, 480 foot hole that played longer with uphill. We bring it back to what the original tee was back in the day a few years ago, where these players were throwing the big hyzer. And that bush is really about where you'd like to be.
That bush is so well hidden from the tee, and it is a big time fairway bunker. If you go in there, Kevin fortunate just to brush it, and he's found a perfect landing zone. Ricky appears to be also in a perfect spot. Really, almost anywhere inbounds is great as long as you're not dead behind that bush.
Yeah, I mean, because these players, I mean, you have to throw it with a little bit of anhyzer just to be safe, because anything that fades left is going out of bounds. So these players are playing the smart shot, just a little bit of anhyzer, and Simon has skipped to the left side of that tree, bushy bunker, whatever you want to call that. And this is a very Cale-esque type shot that he really likes to force over that anhyzer and get the full flight.
Yeah, it's a perfect play. Force over, get you through the gap, moving right, stay away from the OB. If you've got an overstable finish, you're going to love it. And here is that left to right approach. Good for a forehand or a putter turnover.
I feel like we must have missed Ricky's approach, because I think he was further out than Cale. Or, oh, maybe not. Maybe
Must
they're
have
about
been
the same.
close, yeah.
Okay.
It is incredible how far back Ricky will go putter.
Yeah, this is pushing 300 feet here. And just goes to the harp, and a little bit short. But he doesn't really throw mid-range, so it's either driver or putter for him. He loves that harp, obviously.
Yeah.
And he can definitely push it pretty long way.
Simon, right around the back side of the green. He heard me say it was a left to right approach, and he said, go to school on this.
Learn from me.
Uh-oh, Kev. That was a strange one.
Yep, that's one of those whoopsie moments. Fortunately, he's a really quality jump putter. And a very aggressive jump putter.
Yeah, he's not going to like that one. Perfect drive. Just the approach slipped out of his hand or something, I got to think.
And that's not a putt you can be upset with. That's the approach that you're upset about. And that's all 6 or 7 of Ricky's sisters that have decided to come up here. And
Ricky has a ton of sisters.
Yes, he does.
That's a true fact.
He's one of 8, I believe. One of 8 kids. And
6 girls and 2 boys?
Yep.
Good birdie there from Cale. Three birdies and a par for our group there, and now we move to hole 5, kind of the first gut check moment of the round. You got a par 3, 445 feet downhill, OB everywhere, including most obviously the lake and the rocks. You're going to go with a big hyzer here. Try to bring it in just before or just over these bushes on the right side of the screen, but it's got to drop quick. You'd like to land in the valley. Barely long of the basket is OB. Right is OB. Obviously, like I said, the rocks and water also OB.
And when we came in right after this group, so we were dealing with similar wind, but actually it looks like the wind is pretty calm for them right now, and Ricky has skipped over the rocks into the lake out of bounds. His disc will be retrieved.
The spotter was swimming here. The spotter was working hard.
But it's surprising that the wind looked so calm, because we were just 10 minutes after these guys, and we had a huge left to right, which made it really difficult to bring that hyzer in. Simon has pushed it wide.
He fights through. Those trees are OB, so if he doesn't get a good fight there, He's almost reteeing.
Yeah, you're going out of bounds super early with that hyzer, and you're never crossing in bounds until you clear those trees. Fortunate break there. And Cale, this is a smart play, but look at this.
This is turned over. I don't think this has any chance.
And I think it's that sneaky wind that you can't quite feel from the tee. The left to right really pushed that away and never really gave it a chance to hit that gap. Looked good out of his hand, but never had a chance once it started to turn over.
And you hear Kev, pro move, that big exhale, using his routine, making sure he can commit to his shot, and this is plenty high.
Yeah, this is looking really
If it can
good.
get down before the rocks, it's perfect.
Yeah, that's a great shot there.
Lovely shot.
In my group, we had all 4 drives were OB. No one was even close. And in our second 2 approaches, OB as well.
Yikes.
So it was playing very difficult.
This needs to sit. See, you can see how close that OB long is. That's a
right.
good shot, but really just 3-4 more feet, and Cale is finding OB.
And this is a good place to run a long putt. You have enough space behind the basket. You can feel comfortable. Simon gave it a bid.
Ricky takes his spot back in bounds. He has this for par. Nicely done.
And that's a sign of a multiple-time world champion there with a nice par save. And Kevin for a chance to get a birdie on one of the harder holes in the course. He's up and in. On a course that was playing, I don't know, maybe not as difficult as other years because the wind was kind of calm earlier in the day. It started to pick up later in the afternoon. But this was the 5th hardest hole in the course, which is saying a lot because there's some hard holes in the course.
You're right about that. Cale makes bogey, and Simon in for par. Kevin atones for that missed approach on the last hole with a sweet birdie here. Hole 6, par 3, 290 feet, slightly uphill with a lot of out of bounds. Still, though, one of the easier holes on the course. Great shot for a forehand hyzer or maybe a turnover putter. A little bit of an elevated basket. OB is very close to the pin, but it's a manageable distance. So I expect these guys to put their drives pretty close here.
One of the easiest holes on the course, one of the easiest holes on tour. We're talking a hole that is birdied by 70% of the field. We never see that. 70% of the field is birdieing it. Only 4%. That means 5 people total took a bogey on this hole.
Wow.
So this
Yeah,
is
even
one-
if you do go OB, you're very likely to be able to save.
Right. And that should be fine for
Yeah,
Kevin.
that's
He likes
okay.
to straddle so he can get low underneath those branches. But if there's a hole that you could feel like you just got a bogey when you take a par, I would say hole 6, Fox Run. It's the one.
The German PD2.
Any PD2 that Simon throws arguably is a German PD2.
But this one, doubly so.
Doubly, yeah, for sure. And a little short, and this basket is blind from the tee. You have to trust the spot that you're aiming for. So I can see some players not quite getting there. And the elevated basket slightly, brings in some, I don't want to say difficulty because the hole is obviously playing incredibly easy, but
It brings some difficulty, though.
it changes it up.
Definitely. When the wind is up, that putt is going to be much more intimidating. Yeah.
Cale.
Basket hangs on. That's a good putt. Looking like a chance for a star frame here. Probably everyone circle 1.
And these drives look a lot shorter from the catch cam. It's just how this hole, I think, plays.
Yeah, you expect a 10-footer, so
Right.
everything else looks pretty disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not a hole you can take for granted, though. In my group, James Conrad threw putter turnover and went barely OB over that cement wall.
Okay.
Easy save for 3, but still a dropped stroke.
Yeah, sure. And there's the star frame.
Nicely done.
And a good start so far for Ricky and Kevin, 4 under through 6. It's kind of start you're looking for on this course because these early holes are hard. Ladies and gentlemen, this is when it starts getting a little bit harder.
Yeah, these next 3, I think, are really the crux of this course. Starting off in a big way with hole 7, par 5, 1,225 feet. You can see the OB on both sides. Thankfully, they give you that little cutout on the left. We were calling it the bean yesterday. So you got the bean to aim for on your second if you'd like to. Probably the toughest shot is the tee shot, though, because there is an OB ravine in between you and the major part of the fairway. So you can either lay up short or go big, but you got to make that choice, or else you're going to be in trouble early. On a hole this long, you don't want to be OB and still 900 feet away from the basket.
And in golf, talking about traditional golf here, par 5s are usually the holes with the lowest scoring average.
This is leaking right. Well, could this possibly get in bounds? What?
And he pulls
break.
a pro backspin back inbounds. Kevin getting rewarded for the aggressive play.
That was 100% out of bounds.
Yes.
If it doesn't do that exact thing.
Right. And Ricky's going for the aggressive.
This looks beautiful. Ricky with a little bit of Annie. Can it get down? Can it get down? Yes, that is a crush.
That's a great shot for Ricky. But as I was saying, golf, the par 5s are usually the one of the players that are crushing.
Mm-hmm.
We go from the easiest hole in the course to the hardest hole in the course. It's very rare that a par 5 would be the hardest in terms of scoring average.
Yes.
This hole is averaging 5.52. I mean, that is just a bruiser of a hole.
And look at Simon Lizotte playing a little smart golf for the World Championship, laying up short of the ravine. This might be too high.
Ooh. That is going
Come on,
to warrant
no.
a red flag that just barely crept over the corner there.
But thankfully, you take it where you cross, so Cale's going to get all of his 400 feet. He can still certainly save par.
And Kevin has got this a little too high. This is heading
He needs
towards
the bean, dude.
Yeah.
He needs the bean badly.
Oh.
I think he got it.
That is
No.
just barely. It is very hard to be in the short grass and be out of bounds, and Kevin has found it.
And Simon just going to go huge off the second. This is probably a 500-footer. Looks effortless.
Well, not much skip.
Cale going to get out there. Wide hyzer. He's got the bean to help hold this shot, so this is well in bounds.
That's going to leave him at least 450, I'd say.
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe not 450, but it's so hard to judge distance on this hole because you see it, it's downhill, you look like you can get there, but it just continuously gets further and further and further away, and it's just it really is a monster of a par 5. And Simon playing safe, and now he's only got maybe 400 feet or so left to the pin, and look at this.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Loving it.
Just
Loving
in
it.
bounds, just inside the circle.
Well done.
Yeah, you'll take that. A puffer birdie in this hole any day is something that you're definitely happy about.
Especially if your name's Kevin Jones and you threw your tee shot out of bounds.
Yeah.
And you got a nice kick, then
Right.
you threw a great recovery. This needs to sit.
And this looks like this was going out of bounds as well.
Oh, no. I thought he had that. Well, now he doesn't have that birdie putt. He's got a long par putt. And Ricky, with the big drive, giving himself the luxury to go forehand. I really like the play.
I
Though
believe
he's short.
Kevin's actually going to be putting for a bogey, I believe, right? Because he went out of bounds on his second.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, so-
I forgot that it had leaked out. My fault. I thought the bean had him.
And Cale is drifting and looks like he might be
Oh,
going out of
no.
bounds as well. and
Wow.
That is out of bounds.
Oh, we're seeing the teeth of this hole, folks.
And Ricky from 45 for birdie. Up and down. Par is nothing to scoff at in this hole.
All right, come on, Kev.
That'll be a double bogey for Kevin.
Man, it happened so quick.
It does. That's what's so difficult about this hole. And just one bad shot leads you into a bad spot. You feel like you got to make up for it with a big shot, and then now you're out of bounds 2 times in a row. And Simon Lizotte playing the hole safe, ladies and gentlemen, and getting rewarded for it. Great putt from about circle's edge.
Great birdie 4. Ricky makes 5.
And this is a notable thing. I've got to say something about this because I play with a man whose name is Calvin Heimberg. And ladies and gentlemen, this guy goes huge tee shot, start a shorter. Puts himself in the fairway, got a little bit of a tailwind, decides, I'm going to take this eagle out of my hand. I'm going to go to shorter again. Puts it 15 feet away. Tap in, eagle, unreal.
It's not. I thought it was in scoring error. It doesn't seem possible. This man, Calvin, 1,225 feet, and he's parked in 2 shots.
2 shots, and it was one. I'll never forget the shots. It was unbelievable.
That is so crazy. Hole 8, par 4, 675 feet. One of the hardest holes out here, absolutely. Kind of combines one of the longest approaches with one of the tightest greens. This tee shot is a huge turnover, but you really have a lot of things to think about. If you let it flex out, it can go OB. If you turn it too tight, it can go OB. This looks pretty good. Ooh. No, see, there's the too tight turn.
Wow.
Came around the corner, and he finds that out of bounds.
That's the angle you want on the disc coming out of the hand, but Simon just did not commit to a full throw there. Ricky going with kind of the roller angle. Hopefully this has a stable finish. It looks like it does.
Nice.
This grass is so thick that it's really hard to roll it unless you really are trying to. So that throw angle is not a bad shot, actually.
And Kevin's going crazy here. This is in danger of being incredible.
Oh, my God.
This is in danger of being absolutely incredible.
Oh, wow. So he...
That was like a full-on distance driver.
Wow. Okay, that
way around the corner.
That did not look good and turned out incredible. And this has got to not fade. No, this is going out of bounds for Cale.
Wow, that is a big miss because he wasn't going for a lot there. That's a painful way to go OB when you're really trying to play the hole pretty conservative.
I wouldn't be surprised at all if Cale were playing this hole for a par just from the beginning. Most players, I'd say this is maybe the only hole in the course, certainly that I am totally playing fine for a 4. I mean, if you take a par in this hole, you're not feeling bad about it whatsoever.
And here's Ricky. Is he going to run for this? No. Is this OB?
Yeah, this is definitely going out of bounds.
Wow, that turns over on him. OB pretty early, too. Really no chance to save par, I would think. Look at this drive.
Putter approach.
Oh, no,
and Kevin's gone out of bounds. Wow. I've never seen someone in a position where they could throw a putter on their second shot.
That's the best drive I've ever seen. Unfortunate to have it leak out of bounds. Wow, Cale almost brings it up.
And Simon, we have a whole group of players who have really bogey at best coming up here. Yeah, I'm sort of surprised that it's only the 4th hardest hole in the course because it seems like I can understand 7 just because it was out of bounds the whole way, like there is on 8. But it seems like there would be just as much OB or just as many bogeys.
I think, wow.
Well, bogey at best. Let me take that back. Kevin Jones, beautiful jump putt, saves the par.
2 fantastic shots and 1 clunker for him on this hole. But that's good enough for par.
Yeah, you'll take par on this hole any day of the week.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see him birdie this twice with that on the remaining 2 rounds. With that aggression on that drive, incredible.
Ricky's in for his bogey. That's the bogey swipe.
Yeah.
You see the bogey swipe come out when he misses a putt, gets a bad break.
Cale, bogey. Simon's got a par, doesn't he?
He went out of bounds on his tee shot.
Did he? Yeah.
He did. It was too tight on the tee.
Oh, yeah, the red one. Yeah. These guys keep surprising me.
It's early in the morning.
Yeah,
give yourself a break.
I'll try. Hole 9, par 3, 435 feet downhill. This is a really tough par 3. As you can see, OB everywhere. Just a beautiful hole with a big old glacial erratic sitting there next to the basket. Huge ravine on the right. These players are probably going to have to go with fairway drivers. I don't think these guys are going to muscle up on mid-range, but these guys, if anybody could do it, it'd probably be these guys.
All right, Kevin does have a fairway driver of some sort here. Not sure exactly what he's throwing, but that's high and right side.
He's crushing that. Just swing, baby.
And that's the way to do it. Wow, one of the better drives you will ever see on this hole. It is so difficult to get inside the green. If anybody does get in the green, it's typically left side all the way on the edge. Just to get to the circle.
Uh-oh, Simon, this is a
very interesting play.
Is this going to get in bounds? I don't think so.
Oof, no.
And how early is that OB?
That went out of bounds quite early. I like the play. It just is so difficult to throw an Anheuser all the way down in this 435-foot hole.
Commitment is key, really, with every shot you throw here. Anything you kind of half throw, you're almost certainly OB.
And that's the play you're going to see most players throw. So that's kind of the bulk of the green. A long putt, and not too dangerous of a putt, but to get into the circle or to pin this hole is just it takes a superhuman effort. And Cale, I believe, is throwing that H3 that we've seen him throw quite a bit. And
this is turning nicely.
Wow. Oh, okay.
That is great. That's
a great
20
shot.
feet.
It looked like that was going to be under the basket for a minute.
It's pretty close.
Yeah, that's a great shot.
Let's see how close this really did end up. Such a beautiful turn on the disc, heading towards the out of bounds. Spotters loving it.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, that's a green. And wow, this is a healthy spot.
Very generous.
Come on, Simon. Wow.
Jeez.
Perfect line from 100-something feet.
That would have knocked off Macbeth's putt from the MVP Open as the longest putt we've seen this year.
Ooh, and Rick just low and right on his birdie bid. And here's Kevin, so that tells you how close Cale is. Great birdie from Kevin.
Wow.
Back to -3.
Sixth hardest hole in the course. Only averaging 3.18. I thought it would average higher, honestly, just because you see so few birdies. Well, let me take that back. 22% of the field birdied this hole? That seems more than a fifth of the...
That's amazing.
One person out of a fivesome is birding this hole. That just seems a little bit crazy to me.
That's really good.
People are coming out here to play, man. It's the World Championships.
It's the World Championships. Leave it all out there.
Wow. 2 birdies on this hole. That's not something you're going to see very often. Well, that'll do it for the front 9.
Wow, we've got a lot of green, a lot of red, a little bit of orange, unfortunately. This course is really playing tough. Hot scores go to Kevin and Ricky, and this is a look at our through 9 scores. Calvin, as we mentioned, 7 under.
And that's with a bogey on hole 9.
Wow.
He was 8 down through 8.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We are so excited to be with you for the week-long coverage. We've got 5 rounds of the World Championships. It doesn't get any better. Please tune in, subscribe, and come on back to watch some more on Jomez Pro.